Okay, we're back. We're live. It's the end of our broadcast day here on Wednesday, and we are delighted on October 1st to celebrate celebrate the first day of the new CEO of Hawaiian Electric, Alan Oshima. Thank you so much for coming down, Alan. Great to see you.
Always.
Great to see you in this situation. First, congratulations, heartfelt congratulations.
Thank you.
It's so great. Everybody feels the same way I do too. And secondly, I'd like to ask you, what'd you do today?
You know what? First day, made sure I had my correct badge, my Hawaiian Electric badge, so I can get into the office. But truly, my schedule has been really chock-filled. And I was telling people earlier that I got up and I looked at my schedule and I assumed I had a 7 a.m. conference call until I realized that no, it was an in-office meeting. So I had to scramble.
Oh no!
Made a call to the guy that I was meeting with, and who had flown in from the mainland, by the way. And 7 a.m. was the only time we had, and so I was able to get, because of where we live, I was able to get there pretty quickly, and made just a few minutes late. But that's how I started my day. The rest of the day has been meeting with our employees, our execs, kind of getting grounded, and figuring out, as we navigate through the next few days, how we're going to do this. So that's how the day went, Jay.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Look at you, and you're so cool and relaxed. This is terrific.
Yeah. Actually, I am. I mean, I'm not cool, but but I am relaxed. I can't figure that out yet, but I think I'm just so. I've reached a point in my life where I know that what I can do and what I can't do, and what I have to leave to others, and I think I'm pretty comfortable with that. And I've got a really great team of employees and execs, and I can really rely on their expertise. So I am relaxed.
And you're familiar with them. So I wanted to ask you, what happened to get you here? Sort of a short bio, if you will.
Yeah. A lot happened, but not by planning, right? So who goes to law school thinking they're going to become a utility lawyer? I mean, there's no such thing. But things happened when I first joined Carl Smith, and I was asked to basically interview. I didn't know that was what I was doing for to be retained by the then president of CEO of Citizens Utilities Company, who owned Hawaiian Electric. And so apparently I passed, and I was asked to be on the team, and that's how I learned a lot about utility regulation and the electric industry. And I stayed on as their attorney in Hawaii for 20 years. And then, of course, came Hawaiian Telecom, helping with Carlyle Group acquiring Hawaiian Telecom and working through the difficult startup period, truly a startup, having to work through that transformation from a monopoly, what was at one time a monopoly, to a very competitive environment. And so I went through that, was on the board of Hawaiian Electric, then Connie, and Connie, she was very persuasive, asked me to come up to the parent company to help with community foundation, stuff that I love, right?
Yeah.
Community, charitable foundation, strategizing on positioning the businesses to the public. So I did that, and then as we faced new challenges at the utility, given my background, I was asked, Dick Rosenblum and Connie asked me if I could go in and kind of lend a hand. And so I did, and then this. So that's kind of the short version.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's, I think that's really interesting. And what it points out to me, anyway, is that this was an event waiting to happen. This is kismet. That's what happened here.
In a sense, I think so. And I was the only one that didn't know it was happening.
Yeah, I'm really excited and happy for you, Alan.
So
I wanted to know what you see the job to be. I mean, this has been difficult times for the utility, transformational times, not without a lot of issues. And here you come into a situation which is replete with issues. How do you see the job unfolding as you go forward?
Great challenges, but I'm really a glass half full guy. So I see all the opportunities, and I think that's why I'm excited. And you know me, I wouldn't be saying this if I didn't mean it. I'm really excited by what we can do, and because of the challenges, how we have to transform. So I think people who know me in the company know that it's not about me, it's all about the mission. And for me, it's all about Hawaii. So to that extent, my management style is very unstructured. I love to collaborate. I like people to exchange ideas, even within our company. And one of the things that I'm really looking forward to is unleashing that power of collaboration. And within our company, with our company and others, working with all the stakeholder groups, communicating what we're thinking even before it's fully baked, and not waiting for fully baked ideas. Because I think one of the challenges we have is that technology, as you know, is moving so fast, and we cannot wait for the right answer anymore. We have to come up with the best answer given what we have, and to put it in context of what's best for Hawaii, what's best for our customers, what's best for our employees, what's best for our company.
Wow. So you mentioned technology. I mean, is technology part of your, thought to change, to sort of grab onto, to make central in Hawaiian Electric under Alan Oshima?
Absolutely. There's technology, there's regulation, there's pricing, there's customer desires, there's employee needs. All of that has to be integrated. So we no longer can look at just technology because we won't come to the right answer. We have to integrate all of that. And for that, we need to be in tune and listening to our customers. We have to listen to the manufacturers. We have to listen to the regulators, the policymakers. But hopefully, when we can gain their trust that we're actually aligned with everyone, then they might listen a little bit to us too, because we want to say the right things for Hawaii. And I think we have a lot to offer. So my job is to get us there. My job is to get us to the point where people trust us that we have integrity, that we're working towards a common goal for Hawaii. Obviously, we're a business, so we have to be financially stable. But that does not mean that that's the only thing we work towards. In fact, our plans that we just recently filed came at it from a totally different perspective. We started with a vision of what a renewable future might look like in 2030. And some people, by the way, criticize us for not going further. But anything beyond 5 years, and even 5 years is a stretch, especially with the pace of change in technology and customer needs. But we went to 2030 because that's when our next goal, major goal would be under RPS. And we looked at what all the different alternatives to reach different levels of renewables, and then worked back from there to see how our current assets might fit or not fit. And so we weren't looking to protect our assets. We're looking for the best future. And the legislature with foresight and the PUC with foresight has already given us Act 37 that would protect us from stranded assets if that occurred. So I think we have a lot of tools in our toolbox in Hawaii to really be the energy leader for the United States. And I don't want to go so far as to say the world, but I think our plans are aggressive. I think other states are looking at us to see if we can carry it off. I think if we cooperate with our public and the regulators and our policymakers and our employees, we can do it.
What about, you alluded also to a kind of engagement with the public, perhaps a greater engagement, greater transparency, a greater, communication, connection. How do you see that unfolding?
We're already doing it. I mean, so during the recent hurricane or whatever tropical storm Isel in Puna, we communicated. Well, as you know, I mean, Darren Pai from our communications group was grounded there, worked with the press, but it went far, far beyond that, right? So we were having regular reports to government, to our regulators, giving them status reports. We had a community center in the area of devastation that had maps showing people where we would be working, why we would be working there instead of their area, giving them charging stations to charge their cell phones, water, ice, etc. That's one form of communication. We truly intend to be, really engage with our customer in that way. But we also use Facebook and Twitter, and many people were sending us reports by social media, and some very, very heartwarming messages of thanks to our employees came in via social media, with and just very heartwarming stories. And we've shared that with our employees to thank them for their, when we have our employees doing 24/7, 12-hour shifts, and we flew 135 from Oahu and a good number from Maui, and Kauai actually sent some of their people there as well. What these people doing to restore service, they're neglecting their own families.
Yeah, sure.
And so our hearts go out to our employees' families, because they gave up a valuable member of their family to help the public. And we can't thank our employees enough. But fortunately, we were able to restore service in real good time. And now we're looking again at another possible threat, and that's the lava. So real time, our incident command center has been reactivated in Hilo. I was over there last week, kind of seeing what they're doing, how they're planning. Mm-hmm. Some great planning. Jay Ignacio, our president there, and I met with Daryl Oliveira at Civil Defense. And, I think that community has really come together, and I think the planning for these disasters is really robust, and I'm very, very impressed. And I'm very proud that our company is able to, maneuver as quickly as we can to address these issues.
Well, consistent with the core mission, which I think sometimes people, in the community forget, and that is you got to keep the lights on. Got to do that.
Yeah. Yes, and my mission within the company is to move that thinking. We have to do that. We have to do that reliably. We have to do that safely. And safety is the #1 priority. And I think some people forget how dangerous electricity can be, right? And so we have to be sure that we're on the safety side for our employees, for our customers, the public. But I have to take it up another step, right? So beyond just keeping the lights on, we now have to move to a company that is so forward-looking that we're going to see things before others see it. And we're going to say, the customers may need these things. And we can give options to our customers that will make them truly value our service. Let's face it, Jay, people take electricity for granted.
As you do, absolutely.
They take it for granted, and they count on it when they flip the switch. They count on it to power their cell phones, their computers, their entertainment. But we're there. And I don't think, realize how much it takes to get it there reliably 24/7. And it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of technology, it takes a lot of expertise, and it does have value.
Let me add the thought that I think people take for granted the fact that they don't realize that the transformation to clean energy requires new infrastructure, new technology, trial and error sometimes. Yep. It costs money.
Yep.
It's hard, and I don't think they realize that somebody has got to pay for the cost of the transformation. Yep. How do you see that unfolding? Because it's a tension. I want it clean, but I want it cheap.
Yep.
Both. How do you reconcile that?
I think people have to get back to the whole policy again, and I think we forget that. There's a benefit to going clean energy, and that's the benefit to our environment. And that's a cost. If we don't do that, there's a cost that we're all paying. And we're avoiding that cost by doing this. So yes, there's a pocketbook cost, but we're saving on the eventual cost of degrading our environment. Mm-hmm. So it has to be a balancing, but people don't see that. And where I'd like to get us to be is that we're giving people more information so they see the trade-offs. Some utilities on the mainland have what they call green energy programs. It doesn't mean that we can identify which electron is coming from the windmill or solar versus the power plant. But they choose to pay more for green energy because they do see the societal cost if people don't. We're not there in Hawaii. We kind of take it for granted. Mm-hmm. And part of it is because we've been so successful, despite our critics, we've been so successful in moving as fast as we have to trying to integrate as much of these intermittent renewables. Yeah. So people have taken it for granted. It's hard. It's hard to do it. So we have to be able to give people information. We have to be able to give people choices. So as we move to smart grid, as we move to more two-way communication, as we move to other energy technology that we're trying to help through Energy Accelerator, where people can have choices on how they use energy and how they can save, then they'll start seeing the value proposition. I like to say that in 1985, Honolulu Cellular started in my then law office, and we had Governor Cayetano giving the first cell phone call at Tamarind Park, calling the Capitol, right?
It puts things in perspective.
Stone's throw, using the big brick, 2 pounds, half-hour talk time. The phone cost $2,000, and and we were paying, as I recall, and it may not be right, 50 cents a minute back then for every call. And so your business card wouldn't have your cell number on it, because you didn't want people to call you because you're going to pay for it, right?
That, yeah.
And 50 cents a minute in 1985, that's a lot of money, right? So now, flash forward to now, and everybody has their smartphones, and we not only get telephone, we get our long distance, and we get, our internet, and we get Google, and we get apps, and we get everything on this device. Do we even know what we're paying per minute? Do we even care?
We don't.
And we don't care because we perceive it's such an integral part of our life, and it provides us value, right? And we have a choice. Electricity is there too. It's such an integral part of our lives. It powers everything that we value. Now we have to give people choice. And they actually have choice in installing their own, different grid choices. We want to give them more choices.
It's a transformation in a way. It's a kind of a kicking and screaming birth of a new world. There's no initiative as important as this. There's nothing as central to our lives, our society, as this. Now, to go back to your earlier history, you spent a lot of time with the PUC. You were a regulatory lawyer for a long time,
yes.
and you made a lot of things that we enjoy today happen in the state, such as the whole cell phone industry. And I wonder how you see, going forward, the relationship with the PUC, and there's been tension the past couple of years. You're very familiar with that kind of relationship, and I wonder if you have thoughts about it now.
It's all a matter, again, of it's a rebuilding process for us, and it's not just the PUC. It's our public, it's our customers, it's our policymakers. We have to become better at communicating what we're doing, why we're doing it, and really showing that how aligned we are. I was on a panel at Energy Accelerator with a regulator, and we all gave our presentations, and at the end, everyone was saying, why is there any dissension here? You guys are aligned in your goals. You know where we want to take Hawaii, and sometimes it may be a matter of style or miscommunication. We're gonna change that. I mean, we're gonna correct that. We're gonna work hard at that, Jay.
Yeah. Well, it's a new time, and I wanted to ask you. I mean, is it too early to speak of a plan here for you as the CEO? Because the CEO is the guy who looks way down the road. Do you have a plan? Do you have a way of establishing a plan? And I'd add to that, my question is that, as I've always seen in the energy world, especially the clean energy world, the Hawaiian Electric companies as the natural leader for new developments, new technologies, the new transformational kinds of things. It's just natural that it comes out of the utility. But I wonder about your thoughts on that.
Plans, absolutely. We filed our power supply improvement plans, our distributed generation plans, our IIQs, how we're going to clear the queues, our IDRP, our demand response plans. We have to quickly move on those and not presuppose that we have the full authority to do that. But there are a lot of things in those plans that were already in process. So we have to continue moving quickly. I think where there's been a sense of disconnect between us and the commission and the policymakers is that they have not sensed that we know that we're on a speedboat and not on the Queen Mary. And I'm definitely on a speedboat. And the company knows we are on a speedboat. And when you're on a speedboat, you have to make very quick decisions to avoid not only the iceberg, but the log in the water. And you know, things happen to you very quickly, right? So we are transforming. So our plan is to get our entire company aligned on that transformation. A culture that senses the urgency, that is aligned towards our goals, that maybe even repurposes people within the company to come to a better fit along some of the new products and services we want to offer. And frankly, I'm going to be looking deep into the company for the change agents, those who have not always been in the regulatory model, but already have their minds looking forward. And so EVs, we already have been doing work on that. I want to move quickly on a business model for that. What that entails, I'm not ready to say yet. Community solar, giving people access to solar that don't have the opportunity to put something on their roof, or don't want something on their roof, and other solar alternatives. I mean, you know, solar water heating can cut your bill very effectively and doesn't affect our grid. Solar air conditioning now, same thing. So, and battery storage is going to be a game changer. There are many, many things that we are looking at, but one of the big things that I think will be a change from what people think we do is coming up with a whole new area of new products and services and looking at the business model. And that may require some regulatory revisions, because all of our competitors are not regulated, or they regulate and they have unregulated portions of their business. We need the same flexibility to quickly move to satisfy our customer needs on a level playing field, but to retain our financial viability, to maintain the true asset that we all need, and that's the grid. We have to be around to maintain the grid so that everybody else can benefit.
Just as the sources are being changed, you know, by historical process, just as the technology is changing, the company is changing. It's really, you know, and when you wake up tomorrow and the day after, what do you see your challenges to be? And let me add that I think that this could be the most interesting, it is the most interesting job you've ever had. You've had some interesting ones.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it's a historical job.
Yeah.
This is a job that will, by definition, no question about it, will change our state, our people, and our way of life.
Yeah.
And I wonder about your thoughts on that.
That's a reason I agreed to do it. I like challenges, but this is a really big challenge. But it's not a challenge that is unattainable, or you know, we got good people. There are other people that we should attract. We have an eye to technology. We want to invest in making Hawaii a technology hub for energy. We want to work with the university. We want to work with the military. Diverse kinds of needs. We want to be more customer-centric. So we're going to change the way our company operates. And it's not going to be just generation, transmission, right? And then all the support services to do those things. Those things are absolutely necessary. But we want to be customer-centric, new products and services. We have to get LNG in a good way to Hawaii to give us the headroom to do all the investments. We have to do smart grid. We have to do a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts, and that's why I'm excited, because I love to integrate a lot of different things for the good of the whole.
We are excited with you, Alan.
Oh, great.
And let me say congratulations again. It's wonderful that you have this and you are there with all of your life background, and it's the perfect choice.
Oh, thank you.
And congratulations.
Thanks,
Thank you
Jay.
so much for coming down.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's Alan Oshima, the CEO of Hawaiian, the brand new, as of today, October 1st, 2014, the new CEO of Hawaiian Electric. Here we are in Hawaii, the state of clean energy. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jay.